Today, after taking my mom to the doctor and to run some errands that she needed to take care of, we decided that we were too tired to cook. So instead of spending a couple hours taking care of dinner, we opted to stop by a 7-Eleven that was nearby and buy our dinner there. When I opened the door for her to go in first, I felt someone stopping behind me, but thought nothing of it since the convenience store is often busy with people coming in and out. And it had happened to me before to have someone stand very close behind me in order to come in. More so on rainy days like today when you want to take refuge as soon as possible. We walked through the aisles looking for the best choice to satisfy our hunger, and why not buy some munchies while we're at it. We made the first stop in front of a row of cold drinks. My mom moved to the opposite end looking for a cherry coke while I remained standing in front of the juices undecided on what to get. The light was blocked by a tall figure standing to my left. I turned to see a man in his 50s or 60s, wearing thick-rimmed glasses, a 2-day-old beard, and a smelly tartan coat. His hair was dripping on all sides and sliding down his nose. I moved backwards, thinking that I was perhaps blocking his way, but he took the same 2 steps back and began laughing as his glassy eyes just stared at me. I said nothing, feeling unimpressed by his antics and merely limiting myself to getting my juice and walking away from him to look for my mom. After this, every time I would stop to get something, this creepy man would stop beside or behind me, just to stare at me, breathing down my neck or face, laughing oddly as soon as I stared back at him with the water sliding down his nose falling on my shoulder. I think it's important to mention that I am by no means the most attractive female on the planet, so the attention I was getting was starting to annoy me. To give you all an idea of my looks, I am just your average-looking, bespectacled tomboy who is often mistaken for a teenage boy even though I'm much older than that. So we were waiting in queue once we were done picking the things that we'd be buying for dinner. I hadn't told my mom about the creepy man who'd been following me around when creepy man decided to stop behind me. Fed up with his little game, I decided to ignore him, when his laughter didn't make me turn around like it had before. He stood to my left and began laughing again, this time moving a little too close for comfort, forcing me to elbow him in order to push him away. The one thing that had me feel the most creeped out throughout was the fact that I could feel his breath on my neck or face from how close he would come in order to have me hear his laugh, coming closer and closer each time to the point where the water droplets landed on my ear. That laughter was a creepy, unnerving version of SpongeBob's laughter, but in a low, raspy voice with chain smoker breathing included. One of the guys behind the counter told him to leave if he wasn't going to buy anything. The creepy man just turned to him and stared, turning back to me and laughing again. That's when I noticed that his hands was inside his pants, touching his junk. I pushed him away, shielding my mom as we got out of 7-Eleven. An old woman came somewhere near the back of the store and apologized repeatedly, taking the hold of the creepy man. He began screaming. It was like hearing a siren on loudspeakers. I don't think I've ever heard anyone scream like that before, but it was terrifying. My mom was terrified because she hadn't noticed the creep until then. I don't know what was wrong with that creepy man, but it had been a long time since I had been so creeped out.